Hey guys, Sundara here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have another build video. We are building on the Havisham House lot in Windenburg. This ends up being, technically it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but the bedroom is open to the living room and kitchen. It ends up being 18,350 simoleons, and this is a tier 1 micro home. It ends up being called the Pastel tiny home. So let's get into it. Right now we're just doing the floor plan, and I had an idea of how to divide the bedroom from the rest of the space, so I'm working on that right now with this column and these shelves. And this took me a little bit longer than what I was thinking. I had to cut the footage down by a lot, but I'm really pleased with the end result of it. So I'm just doing that right now, and I wasn't going in with the idea of maybe like a pastel tiny home, but it ended up being that way, so I ended up changing all of the shelves to white, and then that column changes to something else as well, which we'll see here in a few minutes. I'm just trying to get the different shelves lined up and everything. And then I grabbed this bed from the Pastel Pop kit, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do the poles so the shelves are not floating, and looking through the columns. And I even go into debug to look through stuff, which I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to figure out something that will work to hold up the shelves and not look like out of place with it. So I'm just scrolling through right now, and I find this column looking thing, and I was going to use it, but it ends up staying for a little bit. It just ended up not really being what I wanted for this. I wanted something a little bit smaller, so I'm still looking through, just trying to figure out, but I did grab this just in case I couldn't find anything else. So right now I'm just trying to figure out if maybe I went back to a column, if that would work, but I just couldn't get the columns to line up right the way that I wanted them to. So I end up just searching through everything and just sort of trying to find a pole that would work for what I wanted. And then I was like, well, maybe this one would just work, but it was a little bit darker than what I was wanting. I was really wanting a lighter aesthetic for this house, so I ended up with this pole. And I believe that this pole is for like some fairy lights or something, but I end up making it work, and I'm just trying to get it to the right spot right now. And you'll see that as the video keeps. And then I end up grabbing a second one, and there's one on either side of it. And I'm just trying to figure out how to hide that like little black piece that's towards the top. And so now I have to figure out a way to get the pole not to be floating in the air from the floor. So I was trying it with just doing a second pole, but I could not hide the little black piece on it. So now I'm looking at like the dream home decorator cabinet things and just trying to figure out if those would work. And then when I go to the back, I just could not get them to not snap into the same position as before. So I'm trying to get it to where it's not the back of it. You have the drawers on either side, and I just could not get that to work. So I had to go back and look at something else. And so I'm just trying to figure out what would work. I was thinking maybe this little shelf, because it had like the decorations already in it, but even it sized up just didn't work right for me. So I'm just going to keep looking through, trying to figure out something that will work in this little space. I even thought about maybe a kitchen cabinet there, but then I go back to these little boxes from Dream Home Decorator. I try to get those to work, and I ended up on this one from high school years, and this one worked perfectly. It came in the pink to sort of match the bed, but the bed actually changes colors, and so do these cabinets. However, I was actually able to get these cabinets to not snap around to the other side, and I'm just scooting the bed in to make sure that you can actually get in there. And then I saw that there was a gap in between the bottom shelf and the top of the cabinet, so I was trying to fix that, but I ended up leaving it. I figured maybe your sim could, like, if you wanted to decorate it more, you could just put like some magazines or something in there. So it's just extra storage basically. And then I took a sim in here to test this house. So I had to put a front door in real fast, and I grabbed this one, this little pink one. And she could actually get into the bed like with the shelves like it was. So I'm just grabbing a nifty knitting mailbox to go with the. At first I was thinking I was just going to do like totally pink, pastel pink vibes. I end up throwing a few other pastel colors in there. I grabbed this door for the bathroom. And then I'm just going to grab the bathroom fixtures, the toilet, the shower, the sink. And this does work. I have play tested it, so. And then we're just going to decorate with the toilet paper and the towels and everything. And the mirror. So we're just grabbing all of that right now. And then we are going to grab a pink towel. And then a mirror. And I kept trying to figure out which mirror I liked. A lot of them either hung too low or too high. The one I ended up going with still hangs a little high for me, but it was the best compromise I could find. I go with this one from the Realm of Magic kit, or not kit, the Realm of Magic pack. And then I am on to doing the wallpaper and the floors. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want in here. So I'm looking at the Pastel Pop Kits wallpapers. And this is kind of where, as I'm doing the wallpapers, at first I'm sticking straight to the pink. And I do end up, especially for the kitchen, I end up going with a different, that's kind of where I end up going with the not just totally pink. I put in some other colors after that. So I'm just still going with this right now. And then for the bathroom and the kitchen, I originally picked this tile from, I believe, high school years. And then I go to get the floor, and I knew I wanted just white tile floor. So I grabbed this, and then I go with that for the same for the kitchen. And then I am looking at the kitchen, and I knew that this tile, I thought maybe it had a pink version, but this is where I started coming in with other pastels like the pastel pink, the pastel purple and blue and green. So I go back and I changed the wallpaper there, and I changed the color of this as well. And then I just make this strawberry part just full strawberries. And then I go and I change the bed. And I changed the color of these little cabinets to white. And then I'm just looking for more flooring. And I was thinking maybe wood all the way, but I end up grabbing this carpet from the Pastel Pop Kit for over here in the bedroom area. And it's this pink version with like blue and purple and pink squiggles on it. Then I just grabbed the white wood flooring from Base Game for the rest of the house. And then we're on to the to do the siding on the outside. And I did not want it just to be all one siding, so I ended up with this like shingle type on that part of the house, and then this Base Game pink siding on the rest. And then we're going to put the roof on. Just real quick, 2 pieces. Then we're going to get the wallpaper on it. And then we're going to grab some different color shingles. And we'll just pop that on there. And then we're going to go and look at windows. And I go with this window from My Wedding Stories for the top part of the house there. And then we're just going to look through, and I'm trying to figure out what I want as far as windows for the rest of the house. I kind of wanted to add a little bit more color, but I end up going with just plain white in the end. At first I had these windows from Cottage Living, and they probably would have worked, but they were just reading more so a little bit more cottagey and country than what I was wanting for this house, so I ended up not going with those. I looked at several different types of windows. I even thought maybe the Realm of Magic windows would work since they had the pattern going through with the window pane on the glass. And yeah, this is where I'm trying those, and I just didn't really like how they looked either, so I ended up going with these round windows here from Base Game, and then this one as well. So just going through and putting that everywhere I think needs a window right now. And then I'm going to go back through and adjust and get rid of that one there. And then we are going to put this window back here as well. And then we're going to move on to the kitchen. So I grabbed this blue refrigerator from, I believe, the Country Kitchen kit. And I was going to pair it with the Cottage Living oven, but the two colors just didn't match as much as I wanted them to. So I ended up going with the oven from the Country Kitchen kit as well. And then I just go with some white cabinets from Cottage Living, I believe. And then just a sink from there as well. And then I'm just adjusting these to not stick out as much. And then I'm just going to go and grab a couch. This one is from high school years. I thought about the Nifty Knitting one, and you will see I do use that outside later, but I just liked this one from high school years. And so I put it there, and then I'm grabbing a table for the TV. So I went with this one from Dream Home Decorator, and I just grab a TV for up top. And then I'm going to go and grab a rug, and I grabbed this one from Nifty Knitting. And since all the colors from Nifty Knitting really just went with the pastel theme, I do put in, I do think that this sim would be a crafter, so I do put in a lot of the knitting stuff. I put in the cross stitch box, which you'll see a little bit later. We're just putting in some plants right now. Just trying to find a place for this one from Nifty Knitting. And I put it there and then moved that hanging plant over. And then I grabbed this for the kitchen as sort of like a box of herbs that the sim is growing from the Blooming Rooms kit. And then just looking through to see what else. And I put this plant over here for now. And then I just grab a little plant over here from the base game for the corner. And just checking to make sure I've decorated everything. So I go with this little front entry part right here. And I grabbed this table, but it does not end up staying. So I'm just looking through and to find something to go above it or to go on it right now. And I knew that the Pastel Pop Kit had a shelf that had like a purse and stuff on it, so I was trying to figure out where that was because I hadn't been able to find it yet. I end up just having to search shelves in the search bar for it. You'll see that here in a minute. I just could not find it in the regular parts of the catalog, so. But I did find this that kind of looks like cross-stitch decorations I hung up over here. And I was thinking about this crafting board, but it was just too big. There was nowhere for it to go. And I'm going to go and grab that shelf here. And then I get rid of the table. And then I am going to go and look for some shoes to go underneath it. And I find this clothes basket that I put over here because she actually does not have a dresser. And I figure, well, I say she, but whatever the sim is that you use for this place, I figured that they probably don't have enough storage for the clothes, so they might have like a pile of it over in the corner just sitting there. And now I'm going to decorate the shelves. And decorating these shelves took a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be because I just could not get anything to really place where I wanted it. And you'll see that here a little bit with the plant. I just could not get it to place like I wanted it to. It just wasn't working like I thought it would. So I end up moving all of that, and this red shelf is custom content. It's just to help put stuff on there on other shelves and on other places that normally wouldn't be able to be slotted to. So this is me grabbing the knitting basket, and at first I was going to put it on there, but then I realized that it was going to snap down below to those other shelves, to the tops of those other shelves. So I just put 4 of them there and then raised one up and got rid of the extras. And I do that with several other items actually. Here's the cross stitch box. I do it the same way. Just place 4 of them there to take up the slots and raise one up and then delete the extras. And then just looking to see what else I want to put on the shelf. I was thinking about maybe moving the plant down there, but it just kept sticking to one side, so it just wasn't working. So I tried doing it the same way, but since it would actually slot on the shelf, it did not want to work with me. So I just grabbed this plant from the Blooming Rooms kit, and I do it the same way as I did the cross stitch and the crochet or the knitting box. And then I just place it and I get rid of the extras there as well. And then we're just going and looking through for some other items. And then I saw this, which would have worked as well. And I was thinking about just using it instead, but I decided, since I'd already put in so much work on this particular shelving unit, I was just going to leave it. And so now I'm grabbing some books to try and get up onto this middle shelf. And there we go. Just trying to line it up. And I end up having to use that trick down below as well. So, and this is where I just decided just to go ahead and fill up all the slots until I was done with the shelf. And so I'm just grabbing a few things that maybe this sim has knitted. So we have this pink octopus. And then we have a little turtle. And then just looking at some other things to put on these shelves. So I ended up grabbing a penguin here. Just making sure he's not floating there. And then just looking through to see what else I could add. I grab a little blue teddy bear for the bottom shelf. And then on this top shelf, I end up deciding just to put like boxes where maybe she or he, whichever sim, has stored things up here. So I just grab a couple of these boxes from the Dream Home Decorator pack. And then I grab one of these other ones from the Everyday Clutter Kit. I just figured maybe this sim has put some stuff up on those shelves as time has gone by. And then I'm just trying to find some different artwork and things for the wall. So I end up grabbing these from the Tiny Living pack. Just the two flower pictures. I put them one on top of the other over here by the bedroom/bathroom. Just like that. And then I go and grab something for over here in this corner. I end up with this picture from the Pastel Pop Kit. And I'm just looking around trying to figure out where I want things to go. I move this mailbox over here. And when I was playtesting with the sim at first, it was raining. So I could not get rid of this mud puddle. But it wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm just trying to figure out which trees go well in this area. So I'm just experimenting, seeing which ones I like, what I want here. And then I'm like, well, why don't I add a porch or a patio type situation to where the sim can sit outside sometimes. So I'm just doing that really fast right here. Just trying to figure out how to make it work. And then maybe I could go back and there'll be more of a defined space for the trees and things and more of a sort of laid out plan for me of how to do it. And then I go and I try and make this with terrain paint, but I didn't like how that ended up looking, so I went back to the tiles. And I used this one here from Base Game and just make a little patio off to the side here. And then I go back to landscaping and I grab these trees. And then I really like this tree at the front, but I got to looking at it, so that tree at the back had to go because it was just too sort of symmetrical. And then I decided to use this other tree as sort of a shade tree over here. And I decided on this tree for the front yard. And I'm just looking through trying to make sure that that's what I wanted, trying to figure out what else to do as far as the landscaping goes. Just grabbing some flowers for right here in front of the house. And then I'm going to put some flowers around the base of the trees. I'm going to grab some for the front tree here in just a moment. And then just getting some flowers for in front of the house. and I get rid of that hydrangea, and I just go with these yellow and white and then these blue flowers. And I believe all of them are from the Romantic Garden pack. And then I'm going to move the mailbox over, and I'm going to get some seating outside. I just didn't like any of the outside benches that were there, so I go back to the couches and I grab the purple nifty knitting one. And then I grab this table from high school years. And then I'm just going to go and grab a white girl from, I think it's from the toddler kit or the toddler pack. And then I just go with terrain paint here. Just going to put it around the trees and the flowers and everything. And there, I moved the mailbox there. And then just going to finish up with the terrain paint. And I'm going to grab a couple of trash cans, one for inside, one for outside, and then redo the lights. And while that's going on, my EA gallery ID is Thundera Shadow. This house is going to be on there, and it's called the Pastel Tiny Home. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe so that you can keep up with them and see the next video whenever it comes out. And I will see you next time as we grab the trash can inside, and then we're fixing to do the other lights. They're all just very simple lights. One of them is for the bathroom. It is from Base Game, and the others are from Dream Home Decorator. I hope you have enjoyed. Bye, guys.